Okay.
Welcome to Beyond Talking Points from Little Visionaries Bookstore. I'm Bridgitte Jackson-Buckley, and today I'm speaking with Gina Nenstiel and Carmen Lara. Gina and Carmen, both practitioners of energy healing in their own right, join us to talk about their work together, accessing the Akashic Records, with which they will demonstrate for us today with a live reading. Welcome, Gina and Carmen.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Okay, we're all smiles because we're just so excited. I love this type of stuff. Okay, so Gina, let's start with you. You worked in law enforcement for 15 years. How did you come to work with the Akashic Records?
Well, I had a significant event happen at my job where I just realized this is not for me. I'm not doing what I thought I was doing. I wanted to be able to help people. And I had a session with Carol Morgan and through Zena through Carol Morgan. And it came out that the Black Hills were my love territory. And so I was told, go here, move here, and then your next step will be revealed. And so quite literally, I quit my job, sold my house. In 3 weeks, I was in a U-Haul driving north to Spearfish, South Dakota. So moved here. And then shortly afterwards, I broke my knee in a skiing accident, which required me to not do much of anything except to go within. And a dear friend of mine, Lynn Quinn, reached out, did a Akashic Records with me, a session, and she said, you're going to do this. So she gave me the book. She referred the book to me to read about the pathway prayer, how to access it. And it was always so natural. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I've
Wow.
only been doing it a relatively short amount of time, but it seems like I've been doing it forever.
Okay, so you had a session with Carol Morgan, who is also a channel. She channels Zena Allen. And that was a very pivotal session for you. Something spoke to you very strongly in that session for you to quit your job and move. That is serious action because sometimes people, kind of, I'm not sure, but you knew. There was no question in your mind.
Yes, it wasn't like an egoic knowing. It was like as soon as it was said, I felt the freest I've ever felt in my life. It
Oh,
was like that is what I'm supposed to feel like. And it wasn't even an option to not do it. As soon as I got off the session, I began figuring out how do I disassemble this and how do I do this? And it was a done deal. Somewhere I've lived I lived there for 30 years in Tulsa. And it was just like,
and
no.
and what was the book? What was the name of the book that you were given during or recommended during the Akashic reading session, was it?
When was it? It was How to Read the Akashic Records by Linda Howe.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. And what about you, Carmen? Was it a book, a direct experience that you had, or like that led you to work with the Akashic Records, or have you always been interested in this?
Well, as a child, I was loving every book that Sylvia Brown came out with, and she used to talk about the Akashic Records. So I remember reading about it as a kid. And I remember taking like some sort of online class where to teach us how to access it. And I remember trying that out and thinking, oh, it didn't work for me. Like, this is not for me, and kind of like pushed off the side, never thought about it again. But over the past year and a half, I've had two Akashic Record sessions with two different people, and they were incredible. And the last one that I had was the end of March. It was like mid-March, I believe, that I had that session, and it was revealed that this was the next step for me to do. And I was very I was like, really? I don't know. It didn't click with me right away because I was focusing on so many other things at that time, thinking I was supposed to be doing all those other things. So I had to go within and also talk to another person who I confide in, and she accessed my records and found out, yes, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Your next step. Well, if I chose to do it, we have free will. But so both Gina at the same time, we were told to do this. We're suggested, recommended that we do this. And so we both got the same book, read it, and practiced. Our good friend that she mentioned, Lynn Quinn, we would have Zoom sessions every week or every other week, and we would practice on our own daily, twice a day, and then we would get together and practice with a small group of us. And so yeah, that's how it started.
Well, I just love how Spirit directs us so clearly, and it's really just up to us to choose to follow or, not choose to follow. And clearly you both chose to follow. Oh, thank goodness for all of us. Okay, so my understanding is the Akashic Records is the simultaneous nature of everything, the record keeping system of existence of everything that can be accessed. But that still is so elusive to me. So please explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. When you open the records, what do you see? Like, what do you feel? Like, what specifically, what is it?
Let me answer. So the way I experience it differently with every person. What I feel is a whoosh, and I don't have another word for it. It's like if you're on a roller coaster and it drops and that dip in your stomach, that's what I feel every time the records are open. It's just a whoosh letting me know that I'm there. Sometimes I see things, sometimes I just receive how I can best describe as like a download, like just all of a sudden there's this knowing of this information. And sometimes the information comes through like a channeling, like a being steps forward and wants to talk. I think of it as an energetic library of every lifetime, of every person, of every being ever. And that we get to access whatever books that we want to know at the time. So it's I don't always see the library. I don't always go into, sometimes I go into different rooms, but not always. It seems very tailored to the person that we're opening the records for. It's a very personalized, energetic library.
Oh, okay, I like that. I can wrap my head around that, because if you see it specifically tailored to each person and it's in the form of, let's say, a library, then that means each soul incarnation could look like a book.
Yes.
And you're, according to the question, you pull information from that specific book. Oh,
absolutely. And each person wrote that book. So it's your information that I'm accessing. Every lifetime, we ourselves wrote. So every book, you're the author. And so that's why you get to have access to that information. It's you helping you.
okay, that's a great description, Gina. Thank you, because I can understand that, because before I would think if it's the information of all of our soul's history, it seems so overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how would you even know what to access, where to begin? But I guess it's the specificity of the question, the period you're asking about, like it can really hone in from what you're saying.
Yes. And it really seems to enjoy like how and why questions, like how do I heal that? Why do I have this issue? How do I heal that? It's really meant to be an asset to our healing journey. Like the point is to heal. So if that's the intention set in and going in, it's going to give you just the perfect information to heal whatever it is that's showing up.
Okay, so you see sometimes images, you feel the whoosh. Carmen, what happens for you? Are you feeling energy? Are you seeing anything?
So also, like Gina mentioned, it's totally different every time I'm working with different individuals, and especially also when they're asking different questions, different energies come through with answers. And so it could be one person we're working with, and every question I'm feeling something different. So when we work together and we're accessing someone's records, we're both going into their records. And so I'm receiving in the way that I know how to receive, how I know how to decode the information. So I receive and our styles are different, and I don't know, maybe we'll be talking about that
Yeah.
at a different point during this. Otherwise I could talk about what I receive, but I feel a lot of energy coming through me, and I'm directing that out of my hands to whoever we're working with. So I feel that for sure. And then other types of energy. When we're working together, it's mainly the energy that I'm feeling. When I work separately, I may experience different things.
Okay, so Gina is receiving, well, you're both receiving information. Gina's delivering it and you're receiving, but you are holding the space and you're emitting healing energy through your hands to the recipient. Is that correct?
And I would like to, if you don't mind, she is like my amazing satellite antenna. So I can read the records by myself and I'll get information, but it's the difference between watching a television show on an 80s TV set and 4K ultra high definition with surround sound. When I'm doing it with her, it's like I can see more, there's more context, there's more notes in the margin, so to speak.
Okay, so she's making the antenna stronger.
Yes, she's a transmitter.
Yeah, so we've been described by our guides as like a radio. I'm the transmitter and she's the receiver. So
You're the okay.
Yeah, so I'm receiving 5D geometric energy codes through me with information for whoever we're working with. I send that energy out, and so they're receiving an energetic reading from me. And I'm doing a lot of the energy work. I'm doing a lot of clearing. So I'm clearing a lot of blocks. So there's like multiple things that are happening with what I do with the energy. And then Gina has a different style. So both of ours combined is really quite incredible.
Okay, thank you, Carmen. That answered my question because I've had Akashic readings before and I've always been told that it's a sacred healing space. So that what you just said clarified how it could be a healing space, because you're thinking, okay, well, words are being channeled to me or to you during the session. So how is it healing? But that makes sense.
Yes, yes. And I've been told also that like the words, and maybe Gina can describe this better, but it's the energy that's behind the words. Like you will receive whatever information you need.
Yeah.
And do you want to
And the energy of the words you're saying? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The English language is sometimes lacking for the translation of the energy that comes through, but they've assured me that the person asking receives the information. There's energy encoded in the words. So it might come at the time of the session. It might come a little bit later, right? You go out about your day and all of a sudden you get this downloaded inspiration. And that's them at work, your guides and loved ones helping you out.
Okay. All right. Okay, one last question. I think this is pretty important. Okay, so when you're accessing information from the non-physical, be it any form, Akashic readings, if you're a psychic medium, whatever, you need to be a clear, unbiased, and neutral channel. So how do you prevent yourself from distorting or blocking the information? How do you make sure that you are a neutral, unbiased conduit for what comes through?
I mean, for me, A Course in Miracles is my foundation of my spiritual practice, of my own process of remembering. And it is an awareness where it's like I can tell when my ego is like trying to drive the car, and I'm like, okay, get back. I sometimes even do this in this. I'm like, because I'll get so interested and curious in a session that what are they going to say? And it's been explained to me, like, that's not my job. My job's not to be attached to the information. It is to like get out of the way and deliver the information. And I've received very similar information that everybody else comes. I have a divine guidance system. It shows up through my emotions. And when I start to experience judgment, when I start to experience frustration or anger, or any of those things, that's my awareness that I am judging a situation and believing something that's not true, and that is not helpful. So in those situations, well, before they start, we set an intention of a clear and open-hearted, let there be a gift. We just want to channel a gift to whoever's doing a reading.
Yeah.
So we try to make it as simple as possible, as clear as possible, and trust that those teachers, loved ones, and those guides that come through are a match to what it is we set our intention to. And sometimes it's not perfect, and that's okay too. You know, we're very, very clear about sometimes information comes in late after the session, or I'm like, oh, I used the wrong word for this. That's not quite exactly how they meant. And so and I've fretted about this answer. Honestly, I'm like, how do I know? What if I'm screwing up? And they've assured me, they're like, we're doing this, not you. Like, even if you screw it up, the energy is being encoded, and we'll clear that up. Like, we'll make sure that they have a good deal. That's not your job. So they've been very, very clear about what is not my job, and I'm grateful for that.
Wow. Okay. Thanks so much. Okay. Great response. Okay. So are you guys ready to do the reading? And do you want to explain the process and whose records will be open?
So we use the pathway prayer, and we usually in the pathway prayer, some of it's said out loud, some of it's said quietly, and then we'll announce that the records are now open, and then we're ready for questions. So we're going to open your records today.
Oh, okay. I'm okay.
Or is that what? Is that
No,
okay?
I'm fine. That's why I was wondering, is it going to be like the universe, or like whose records are we opening? Okay, I'm cool. I'm good to go.
Okay.
And you can ask, they can be general questions. It doesn't.
Yeah, okay. I have general questions. Okay.
And so we know your name. So
where's
Okay.
okay.
Thank you so much for this.
All right. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, help me to know Bridgitte in the light of the Akashic Records, to see Bridgitte through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Bridgitte have for her. The records are now open. Okay.
Okay. We're ready. I can ask the question.
Go for it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have 4 questions prepared, and they're each very different. Okay. So my first question is, there are people who would consider themselves light workers. They're aware that they're on a spiritual path, and some, of course, who are not. So I'm curious, for people who feel that they're light workers and they're interested in spiritual material and moving forward in their path, why does there continue to be such a struggle sometimes to truly step into your authentic call and share your authentic multidimensional gifts and talents with the world?
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I'm in a room, it looks like a school, there are markings on the wall. They look like symbols. There are several beings in this room, and they're kind of explaining, it looks like Earth School. Okay. So does anybody want to come through? Okay. That would be okay. Somebody's volunteering to speak. Okay. Each of you have decided we would call it a mission, for lack of a better word. You had a plan in what would be the most loving way to learn. In this place, the ego is still something to deal with. It is not an exact science. The ego can discombobulate one's intention. In other words, there are those who have come to carry the light. They cannot help but do so. It is them. Now, when it comes to sharing, that is a process, because there is programming already set up in which one's concerned about the opinions of others. That is a very large paradigm in this place, which was agreed to be, we will say, turned on its head. How does one turn that on its head? It is an individual journey. It is very easy, we would say very simple from our perspective, to say how funny these beings walk around and they are worried about what other people think and feel and say. But once the being is here, once you are here, you understand how, with your belief system and your thoughts, you are concerned. It literally translates into creating a materialized force, which is merely a belief. The belief that if others think something of me, and we would say each person does not care about all of the people. There are specific relationships. Maybe it is a mother, maybe it is a loved one, maybe it is a political group, maybe it is a religious affiliation. There is something about the systems engaged here which pull the strings of the ego and create a fear-based belief system. We were not concerned about this because it was understood we have divine guidance systems. You have a divine guidance system. You knew that what feels free is truth. Truth feels like freedom. Truth feels like love. Truth feels like connection. And you were not worried about being distracted from that. However, you have found yourself distracted. We are making a generalized statement. Some are very fluid and solid in their ability to go towards freedom. They have clarity. Others have less clarity. That is when they have adjusted in their plan how to create more clarity. Sometimes with the ego involved, this looks like suffering. Sometimes it looks like chaos. Sometimes it looks like a breakup or a breakdown, which opens the human system up and able to choose again. We would say you have designed and created the perfect system in which you can choose freedom over and over again. And you will continue to receive that choice until it is chosen in a way which causes that to create your next step. This information is known to you before coming to this Earth School. It is simply part of the curriculum that you do this without knowing the answers to your test. We are grateful for your choosing to be here and remind you that you are not alone. Okay. Was that clear?
Very clear. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you both. Okay. We are not alone. That's a perfect segue into my next question. Okay. So there are more incidents, photos, and information coming into the public arena about extraterrestrials, unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs, and the idea of contact and that we're not alone. So some of this information could be based in truth, while some of it is probably not. So what would it look like when true contact is made from extraterrestrial beings, that is made in truth, and that when the contact is made for the highest good of all of us involved in the evolution of humanity? What would that contact look like?
This is a fantastic question. I'm so excited. I'm going to really have to pull my ego back because I'm so interested in this.
I'm
Okay.
excited too.
All right. Hmm. Hmm. This appears to be a galactic. Are you a galactic family? You're saying yes, the galactic family of. I'm not understanding the translation of that. This is a galactic being that's come forth. And would you like to just speak? Cool. All right. Each journey will be an individual one. You ask, what type of contact would it look like for it to be in the highest good of all concerned? We would say the contact that is happening right now, that has been happening for quite some time. There are many beings that have made contact with other human beings. Now, it is important for you to remember that each of you can make contact whenever you wish. This is not a event that will take place for the masses. That would be impossible. That would defy universal law. That is important for you to know. You cannot create a situation that does not match a certain frequency. If the frequency is set, highest level of vibration, and for the highest good of all concerned, then you must match the vibration during that contact situation, which is quite different than what is being described as happening now. We are not concerned about what shows up. It does no good. It is not helpful for us to parse over every lie humans have been told. It is much more helpful that we focus on, you know what the truth feels like. This is innate. It cannot be helped. It cannot be stopped. Truth feels like freedom. What feels free to you? Move towards that. You may simply go onto your porch or yard or outside in the night sky and look up. We would encourage you to do this. And what do your eyes, your own eyes, show you? Is this place as you have been told it is? You do not have to look very long to see that it is not. That is not a scary thing. It is just a fact. Indeed, you have been reminded that you are not alone. There are many of you on this planet that have other lifetimes happening congruently where you are members of a galactic force which are sent here to assist this planet. When we say assist this planet, those words do not exactly contain the correct vibration. We will say assist raising the frequency of this planet. Beloved Earth, this beautiful living being, this largest member of each of your galactic family, has requested assistance, and many of you have come to assist. Many of you come to hold the light, to increase the amount of light onto this planet, making it easier. much has already been done. We would remind you that the disclosure you are waiting for is not the disclosure of out there, that is the disclosure of in here. When the contact which you are describing happens, it will come with a remembrance and an awareness that, we are one, this is me also, and this was part of our agreement. There will be a soothing feeling. There will be a peace that comes. Fear and confusion are not indicators of truth. We are excited that there are so many beings awakening to who they truly are. And we would ask that you know that your neighbor does not have to see and know what you see and know for love to ripple over this beautiful planet, your galactic mother.
Well, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Oh my gosh, it will feel soothing. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, yes, our society is undergoing a massive change at this time. I mean, we're all seeing it and we're all feeling it. And it seems that we're also undergoing the breakdown of certain systems, possibly our food distribution system and the financial systems. And that can feel overwhelming and uncertain. Difficult to see the spiritual message behind these events. So, what is the spiritual message behind what we're experiencing right now and the breakdown of societal structures and systems that we've known our entire lives?
Wow. You are a society of stories, of beliefs. That is what you remember. That is what you have always been. However, before this now moment, there were other stories. There were other societal norms of connection, clarity. There was a form of institution which did not require violence. Now, this was before you came here and now. And it can seem confusing to see what can come next. It is part of the training, part of the, we will just say programming, that this is the best system, you have been told, that if this system were to fall away, then people will suffer. And we would say, it still seems as though there are those suffering, even with the system, even with the running water and the taxes and the militaries. There is a lot to consider. However, we will remind you that this is simply confusing to look outside of yourself. And we remind you, you need no one to tell you what the truth is. You have an inner guidance system. Does confusion feel like truth? We would say no. What does? You were born onto a planet that gives you everything you need. You were told, but you should pay for it. And now there is fear oh no, what if we can't pay for what we need? Can you see where that would be fraught with what cannot be true? You are born into your mother. Your Mother Earth is here, has agreed to, and will continue to give you everything you need. The issue is, what is the story you will choose to tell yourself about what is going on now? Many of you are totally taken care of in this moment, on this day. You have food, you have shelter, you have air. There is simply a story of, yes, but there may be some people on the other side of this planet that are suffering. And we would say, you each are free to create as you desire to create. And each one is sent and understands they came for their own lessons, for their own missions, for their own purpose. And as we will remind you that you know that you do not know what anything is for. Only love is true, and reality is always kind. When there is a distortion of what is happening, we would remind you that rarely are the things that are loud and coming across on screens actually happening. You do not see them, you see them on a screen. You have a choice, we would say. You can believe your screen or you can believe your window. And we recommend looking through your window more often than your screen. You are powerful beings that came here to hold the light, to demonstrate love, to teach through your own experience. You are not being asked to take a chalkboard out into the street and explain to everyone how this place is a lie or you are under control. You came here knowing that you would simply demonstrate what a free and sovereign and loving being is. And others benefit from that. Think of yourself as all individual sound bowls with the most beautiful frequency. And as you match the frequency of freedom, that sound ripples out. It is unstoppable, moves through not only this place, but into the galaxy and beyond. You have asked, what do we do about these collapsing systems? Well, you may do whatever you choose to do, but we would suggest celebrate your own remembrance and remember that you came here to love. We thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So beautiful. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm just excited, and I'm not really sure what. Sometimes I remember for the most part what they say, but I'm just, my ego's like, I can't wait to listen to this later and find out what's going on.
I'm thinking the same thing, Gina. I'm like, I will be re-listening immediately. But what really stood out is, for the last answer is, you are assuming you will suffer. Oh, that was, just thank you. Okay, my last question, Gina and Carmen. How can we reclaim the ability to heal ourselves now?
This is a fun question. You have asked this question before. Many have asked this question. We would say that question begins with a misconception, a wrong premise you could say. You are beginning with the idea that you are not healed. There is an idea here in this place that you are supposed to do. That is where your worthiness is. That is how you measure your value. We would say that to be more accurate, yes, you came to experience. However, to heal is to remember. To heal is to bridge the gap. To bridge the gap from, I believe things will be okay, to I know that they already are. This is a critical foundation to what you wish to accomplish while here. And we would say it is common for the ego to say, well, that is simple, but it is not easy. We hear this a lot. It is simple, not easy. It is simple, not easy. Perhaps, although, is that not also a belief system? To believe it can be simple and not easy? What if you decided, being the powerful creator that you are, that it will be simple and easy? Or perhaps it didn't begin as easy, but I'm getting better and better at it. Do you see how it is you, who you truly are, that you are asking to become? You are saying, I wish to heal. Another way of saying is, I wish to remember that I am a child of God. We remember. We would like to help you remember. There are wonderful books which many humans that are here now have assisted in writing. You have assisted in writing many books that would help adjust your frequency, help retrain your mind, help heal this split mind. You are magnetically drawn to these books. There is an indicator. There is something inside of you that says, this is where my freedom lies. I will follow it. And you can trust that. We will say, you cannot go wrong trusting freedom. You know what freedom feels like. Step into it. Make that the question. When making a choice of what should I do and where should I go and how do I heal and how do I create differently, there's only one question. What feels free? What feels free? Indeed, you are free and sovereign beings. And you cannot fail. We love you. All right. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the Lord of the Akashic Records for their point of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Was everything that I felt intuitively it would be. Thank you so, so very much.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. So that's it. I'm in awe and feeling lots of love.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed listening to this conversation with Gina and Carmen. After working in law enforcement for almost 15 years, in 2020, Gina attended the Oklahoma retreat hosted by Mary Boatman and Carol Morgan. That changed her life. It was there that she first saw extraterrestrial ships and experienced her first miraculous healing. This led to a path of devoted focus on the non-physical. Gina's mission is to shine the love of God onto everyone she comes in contact with, using both her written and spoken words. Carmen has been practicing energy healing with both animals and people since 2018. She is certified in healing touch for animals and also uses the Akashic Records as a modality for healing. Carmen's mission is to bring humanity and animals together. Carmen and Gina are located in Spearfish, South Dakota, and conduct sessions in person and online. To schedule an Akashic reading session, they can be contacted at bluezuluhealing@gmail.com. And of course, the links will be in the description. Thank you, Gina and Carmen.
Thank you.
so much for having us. We really enjoyed this
It's a
opportunity.
pleasure. Thank you so much.